Hey, James, we're out recording stories.
Okay.
We'd love to hear you share your story with us.
Okay. My story is going to be a story where I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the Lord because when I really needed Him, He was there for me. And as the Bible tells us, His promises are true. If you call on His name, He will be there, but we really need to want it. Yeah. And my story basically comes down to, as I've told you before, I came from a party background, and so I'd got myself in a little bit of trouble, for sure. And so I'd gotten myself to a very difficult time, in a difficult place. I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. And at this point in my life, I got down and I called on the Lord's name. I simply said, I can't do this alone. And that's when I received salvation, when I received the Holy Spirit. And I just want to share that with people, because if we really call on His name, He will be there for us just like He promised. But the key is that we really have to want it. Yeah. And the deepest part of our souls. And all I said was, Lord, I cannot do this on my own. That's when I received the Holy Spirit. I was filled with what I call liquid light. And it was something that was just pure love, compassion, forgiveness, strength, all those things. And all the things that I was struggling with, they were conquered at that point. And so I just want to say to the Lord, thank you very much for what you did for me, and I just want to testify for that here in public. So that's it, simple as that.
Hey, I've never heard somebody use the word liquid light before.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. If there's anything you can share about that, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. I mean, what happened to me was, because I was drinking and doing other things, I've become kind of depleted of strength, and there's spiritual consequences to the party lifestyle. And so for me, I became kind of hollow inside. And when I called on Him, I believe it received the Holy Spirit, my soul was actually filled with a liquid light that was overflowing. And I knew, because I was not raised in the church culture, I hadn't read the Bible, I didn't know a whole lot about it, but I felt I was very close to death. And so at that point, I was getting scared. Yeah. And so what I did was I started reading, and then I finally submitted and said, Lord, I can't do this by myself. Yeah. And that's when I felt the liquid light was actually something that I felt physically fill my soul, and it was victory over the darkness. It was, again, something that the soul was kind of filled. And again, I knew exactly who it was, what it was. It meant salvation, it meant forgiveness, it meant that I never had to worry about what I'd done in the past, and that was a welcomed home.
That's awesome.
And that's really what it was, and that's the best. And it's something where it was the exact opposite of what I was experiencing at that time. Yeah. So hopefully that makes sense.
That does make sense. So I'm really glad you said more about that, because that's awesome.
I'm glad.
It's a good way to describe it.
Well, that's what it felt to me. It was literally liquid that felt like it was moving the soul, and it kind of overflowed. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that story and share that truth. That's something that was a pivotal moment, obviously, in the walk, because I left the life that I had before, and now I'm doing this. So,
thanks, James.
My pleasure.
Yeah, God bless you.
God bless you too, brother, for sure.